What are you guys up to? Y'all doing okay tonight? I was gonna wear a hat, but then I didn't. But I might. You never know. I might. Let's see. There we go. Sean's going TT. As soon as he finishes going TT, he will be here to join us. I'll probably skip out to go get a hat real quick over there because I forgot to put it on and I wanted to wear one. AC/DC. Sean loves it when I wear these kind of t-shirts. I can tell you two things they sing. Back in Black and what was the other thing? Sean! Back in Black. I can't remember the other one. I'll have to ask him. Sean, yes. What was the other thing that AC/DC that I knew besides Back in Black?
You shook me all night long.
You shook me all night long. I've heard that one. So I therefore feel okay wearing the shirt. And Sean thinks it's super sexy. Let me go get a hat.
Real sexy.
I told him I was going to run get a hat when you got here.
Yes.
And then I'll be back.
Mrs. ATX rocking her AC/DC shirt.
I could have done like a Rolling Stones one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I can't believe she only knows 2 songs. You guys know, if we had... She does. We just have to sing her the lyrics. All right, let me get my phone set up here.
I'm on my way. We've gotten so like good at trying to be there right on time.
I know.
I didn't want to like not be on time and then have to go get my hat.
Well, you always start the live stream and then I come on.
I know. It's like our thing, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's better. It's a little bit tight. I have it clamped too tight, but that's okay. Okay. Hey, Jorge, what's up? I thought I saw somebody else. There's several people live right now. Oh, you saw some of it. Paula was live playing an old vlog of when I was on Fairy Garden's stream. Way before there was a me and Sean.
Way before there were, that was like at the beginning of the YouTube for everybody.
Sounded like I might have made a couple snide comments about him, but I didn't go for him.
Nope.
I didn't
go.
You know
that would have been all over the place if that had happened.
And Sean would be like, we're going to play this for foreplay.
I mean,
right?
I mean, if you think of the people, let's see, let me get on here.
The people that what?
People that are together and when people play videos of when they weren't together. The people that are.
But don't you think if there was like a clip of me really just.
Oh yeah, it'd have been exploited. It'd have been
No, but I mean like not horrible, but like one of me like trying to drag you or something, you'd think it was hot.
Yeah, but that's because.
Well, now you would.
It's because you always wanted me, that's why. Possibly,
but that remains to be filed into the catalog of history.
So you got AC/DC. She knows Highway to Hell. She knows You Shook Me All Night Long. No, Highway to Hell. Highway to Hell. You know that one?
I do know that
Back in Black, Highway to Hell, You Shook Me All Night Long, Hell's Bells. There's other songs that you know.
Okay. I found something out today. Hey, Sarah.
Hey.
There are people that are concerned about talking in our chats right now because Sam looks at them and then goes for them.
Really?
And I wanted to let you guys know it's okay. You don't have to talk in here. You can just watch. Yeah, not everybody's been in the community long enough to be like, you know what I mean? Like the other day she went for stitching. Stitching didn't give a shit, but she watches it and then she goes for him. So I was clued in on that today and I was like, I understand.
You guys, you can't give her, I mean, I get it too, but you can't give her that kind of power. She can't hurt you.
But I mean, they don't understand what her boundaries are.
Right.
Her boundaries are that she sits in her house and talks.
That's what she does.
That's what she does.
She doesn't even go out.
And she's a cop caller.
Yes.
Both of those things. But anyway, I wanted to say that I hadn't even told you that. Someone sent me a message and said that. And I was like, it's okay. I get it.
Has she like literally put that out to people?
Well, just that's why people are like, you know, they're like, she goes through and then she talks about like she did it to Carrie Y. And it's not even people that are made for that. It's people that
She knows
she knows she can get to.
Let me get my cheer wine real quick.
She's got Katie bulldogging for her cause, which is very typical of Sam because she will use anybody to further her whatever she's got to do. So she had Katie, him hawing about job loss and this and that. And I think that she's so protective of mentally ill people and doesn't think that they should be a part of the drama. How about a girl that's in the final stages of alcoholism? How about that? That's pretty mentally ill. I have a clip that was sent to me of Katie literally saying, oh man, I have the shakes and whatever. And if you're going to use her to sit there and in her stupor talk about job loss, talk about someone's coming for somebody, that's pretty sad. But it's actually pretty reminiscent of what you did to the Beast in court, right?
Yeah, you left her hanging.
You told her you would be there every step of the way. You were going to get her the documents that she needed, and you left her with two spiral pieces of notebook paper, looking ridiculous.
Yeah.
So this is not. I'm just saying, if you're going to get somebody to try to intimidate other people, Katie is probably not the one anymore because she's extremely sick. And maybe you could give her a pass for that and find somebody else. Is that because that makes me mad. Not really mad, but when I saw her actually flat out, saying I have the shakes, I need to quit drinking and this and that, I thought she gets into a stupor and then she's kind of like, like when they fire the cap gun, she needs to start, and she doesn't even know what she's doing.
Yeah,
Hey, Nelson, it's good to see you.
Yeah.
That was like my point that I wanted to make about that, because it's pretty pathetic. If your cause is mental illness, why don't you take heed that this girl is pretty ill?
She is. What I notice is like Hussey.
Hey,
Hussey is trying to be, hey, what's up, Jocelyn? You're not too late. I don't know what to think of the guy, because at the first impression, he seems like a nice dude, and he's in Katie's chat. He seems like a gentleman. But boy, when he goes after people, you can see the other side of him pretty quick.
Especially when he goes after DC.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of deep-rooted something there.
Yeah.
When he talks about her or whatever. But that's, what do they call that, housekeeping when you get started?
What do you mean?
They always say, like, creators will say, a little housekeeping before we get the stream started, and they
yeah,
they say whatever they need to catch up with or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Today's Monday. It does. Today's Monday. It is.
Hey, Jude. Hey, Trash Panda.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
No, you're good. Trash Panda, we're not going to talk about drama. This is just about where it ends. Go ahead.
Mondays are a long day. So if I sometimes I'll sit here on Mondays and be like, it's okay. I'll get going.
But you did get a pretty much, got a lot of sleep last night, didn't you? Because we went to bed sort of early.
Yep.
It always, when he gets up at 3 something, you know how it's like the first day you can like hang tough through, but then it's the night of the second day when you're like, you hit the wall.
It's kind of true. So
yeah.
I got to tell you, a lot of people think that it's about 6 weeks left of Amazon at the post office.
Oh, really?
They do. And
they're just
what's
not making
happening? Well, no, because they are hiring people. People are going back to work for them, and they're able. See, the way Amazon works is you have Amazon, and they have their trucks, and you see the Amazon trucks around, but you also see a bunch of. What Amazon does is they go to like they contract out to people, say like Curly Trucking or Curly Transport. We buy a contract and we have to, and they pay really well. So they'll pay us like whatever, $200,000 a year, let's just say. And then they'll subcontract it out to 3 people. Mm-hmm. And so they'll have three drivers that you pay $30,000 a piece to. Then you've got to outfit the vehicles and do that or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then you keep the other 100. So like
Okay.
when you apply to work for Amazon, you can apply right to Amazon, but you know a lot of times when you look at Indeed and some of the other job apps, it'll be like Johnson Transportation. That's who you're working for. And so when you apply for it, they're like, well, you're actually working, you're going to Amazon and you're using one of our trucks and then you're delivering Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is Amazon is hiring people at a very good rate and contracting at a very good rate where they're not really having to give the post office as much stuff as they used to. So I mean,
Okay.
on Sunday, like I said, on Sunday, I go to work Sunday and there's 22 packages for us to deliver.
I remember
Total.
when you said that, and I was like,
And
that's not a lot.
yeah, so the writing's on the wall for that. So, and it might be that the post office just stops working on Sunday, or they just start delivering network on Sunday.
Yes, Marilyn, it feels like you're in a chat room like back in the day, like a Yahoo chat room. Remember
What is-
that? A Yahoo chat room? Or whoever you use. I think Yahoo and AOL were the original chat rooms. And you would go into whichever subject that you liked, like
Yeah,
cats or whatever it was, and you go in there and you
there'd be
and
like
you,
20 people talking about
and then there were
cats.
some really foul ones.
I used to play, so this would be what, 20 years ago or whatever. I would play like spades. 22, 12, yeah. About 2000, when we moved to Rhode Island, it was 2005. So from like
Spades.
2005 to 2008, on a random, say like Saturday night, I'd be home with the family, but I'd be in the Yahoo Spades lounge playing spades.
Being a good boy.
Yeah, being a good boy, because I was.
No, I know you were. But the you know overseas what spades is.
Yeah, the card game?
Yeah, but in England, and I would assume it's the same in Germany, if someone says, "Hey, are you into playing couple spades?"
Oh, that's.
What they mean is, do you swing?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I was in the Yahoo Spades room, and it had nothing to do with that.
That's how it is. Like I one time when I was working at the shopette, someone was like, do you and your husband play spades? And I was like, no, I don't even know how to play it or whatever, and left. And then this other girl that worked there that heard it goes, you know what that is, right? And she learned what it is from when they were in Germany.
Oh, I never heard that.
So don't ever say you'll play spades when you're on a military post overseas, because it means you swing.
Yeah, I didn't play spades. She might have, but did I say that?
No, but I mean, like, I didn't know if you knew that or not.
I didn't.
You didn't know that?
Mm-mm.
No one ever asked you to play spades?
Mm-mm.
Well, y'all were a nice looking couple. Why did nobody want to play spades
Because
with you guys?
I was a very, very good soldier. Back
No,
in the
but I
day.
mean, like, you would
They
think.
didn't. I mean, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Anyway, so you guys know that. That's the point. We skipped out last night. We weren't here. Mainly because Sean was tired, but something else came about. Something else came about that also led us to have a early night. No, nothing dirty. Oh, the football game.
It was dirty.
Sometime, but that
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that out loud.
Mandy is really good about checking me out and going, all right, we're not going to go live. Like I'll be laying there in bed and so I went to work at 4 yesterday morning, but I was back by noon. And normally I'll lay down, take a nap, do whatever. But for whatever reason, well, there was some other stuff, personal stuff going on in our life that kept us pretty amped up. But by the time,
Oh yeah.
but by the time we were settled down and it was like 6:30 and it was like, we're not going to go live tonight. It was.
Usually I have to make the command decision, because if I say, how about we not go live, then he'll go, I mean, we can if you want. So I have to be the one that's like, no, not tonight. But then the time comes and we're like, I guess we could have gone live.
Yeah,
Anyway, it doesn't
I
matter.
mean, there was some stuff going on, like not drama or YouTube related, that had me on one a little bit, had us both on one kind of, and it was like, nah, it'll bleed over a little bit, and we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So,
But interestingly enough, I don't have Scout here to show. Scout is a very, very popular breed, it appears. He has a doppelganger in North Carolina.
oh my God.
I think
What was that?
I thought it was really the chair. It was not me. He's got to own it.
It was a chair.
It was a chair. He looks just like the rescue cat that got doxxed all over Onslow County, but he does look just like it.
You brought up something good.
Someone else is the one that two people told me, they're like, your cat is like being mirrored by a narcissist. I was like, what? And they're like,
but I think
I
think you were onto something though. Like, she's putting somebody or someone's apartment on blast, and it was probably somebody that pissed her off or something like that. So, and I think that's probably right.
Probably
right.
so. Probably so. That's the way the game is played by her. She isn't close enough to throw him in jail, so she'll have to put him on blast on like this community page.
Jacqueline said you look like Tammy Faye, but with the smiley face. So I think they were being.
I'll take Tammy Faye. She was like had a lot of mascara that was clumped together. I don't think
the first time I saw Tammy Faye. That I knew who she was is when she found out that Jim was cheating on her. And remember when she was crying and it was like her face was melting.
Yeah, she was a ball. And he didn't even do it just one time. He got caught over and over and over again.
But he was getting caught over and over and over?
During that span of time, he was.
I remember when he was like, nobody really even knew who they were. I mean, they were kind of, you knew who this and that. But when he was confessing and he was crying and then she was there crying, I was like, oh God.
It's kind of like, and God rest his soul, Kobe Bryant, when he got caught and he did the press conference with his wife, who ended up being his widow. They were together. And boy, she had like about a 10-carat diamond ring on her hand.
But Kobe wasn't crying, was he?
Yeah. He turned up a little bit.
Okay, so when Kobe, when that
affair, sat right by him though.
Yeah, but when that happened, I was in Iraq. Mm-hmm. So that was So I only know like after I came back. So here's the scenario.
I didn't even know he had until he passed away.
So in 2003, I'm in Iraq, and sometimes the press would just come up to us, and they would ask, questions, and we'd be like, whatever. Or they'd be riding along with us on our convoys. And they'd say something like, can I ask, can we send a message back home and this and that? Because we didn't really have internet cafes and all that in 2003. And we say, yeah. So, the news reporter would be like, so what is your take on the Kobe situation? Mm-hmm. Right. And I had no idea that he had been caught cheating or any of that. So I'm like Kobe Bryant, and they're like, yeah, what do you think about the whole Kobe thing? And I was like, what did he do? Drop 60 points on somebody? I didn't know what they were. I had no idea until a news reporter told me.
Yeah, I didn't have any idea. I knew who he was, but until he passed, I'd never seen the press conference.
There was two things, two big news bombshells that. When you like are living your life and then some big news thing comes up and you remember where you were or whatever and this and that or whatever time in your life. The two of them where I was like, man, I was in Iraq that was the Kobe Bryant thing, and when the Michael Jackson in first child molestation thing. That was back in
when he went in his pajamas to court, or was it when he first?
It might have been. It was the first time they really.
I think it was when he went to court in his pajamas.
Yeah, it might have been, and I wasn't there for any of that either. And so we're just hearing this. It's odd because for the people that are stationed in Iraq now or Afghanistan, they have their own barracks and stuff. They have internet. They have cable TV. They didn't have any of that when I was over there. Wow. We got out there. We got up into Iraq and we lived for the first 6 weeks, we lived in our trucks and things like that.
Yeah.
And then we found buildings to kind of move into and things like that. But we didn't have TV. We didn't have internet. We didn't have phones. It was like the end of 2003 where, we could have constant, we had communication with our families and stuff like that. So I remember once, every 10 days, they would get this satellite phone, and you'd go out into the open, into an open area in the compound, and you could call home.
That's cool.
And you was a shot in the dark whether they'd be there because you didn't have like email. I mean, you didn't have like text to tell them that. You know, you would just have to be like, try to like send an email and like they had like internet, but it was real spotty. So you'd send something off to like an account and hopefully they got it. Something like that. Yeah.
That's interesting.
So
probably now they all have cell phones. All the Iraqis even have cell phones, don't they?
well, you guys remember when I was telling the story, my job over there as the public affairs guy, I had a little cell phone. It was about this big. Remember the little Nokia phones that were tiny? They were like,
yeah, I do.
I had one of those. And
the buttons were.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was a number that I could take incoming calls from anywhere. So, the press that wanted to work with us would call me on that phone.
Right.
I could call around Iraq to the bureaus, but I couldn't call like back to the States. I couldn't call like other people.
But it would receive calls.
Right. So like I think I mentioned it before, I would tell my buddies or whatever, once they set up the internet cafes or whatever, tell your wife or tell whoever at this time to call this number. And it worked out pretty well. We would be sitting around watching movies and it would be, 8:30 at night our time, which would be, I don't know, 2:30 in the morning, Eastern time. Or whenever they wanted, whenever they could. And the phone would ring. It was really cool. So I'd pick up the phone. If it wasn't somebody for me, it might be like, hey, is, specialist such and such there? Yeah. And then they could talk. It was cool.
Oh, that's very cool. You had mentioned Nokia, so I was like looking at this phone that when I got, I thought I had arrived. It's like really slow. Do y'all remember the LG Envy phone? It just, the picture came up and now it's not back. Hold on.
With my phone, I would take it off I would just go right off of data. Cause,
this was like one of the first ones where you didn't have to push the same button to do letters. I'm going to show you. Some people might remember it.
Jude said 62 and partly cloud. I would take 62 right now.
It's not. Yeah, you'll have to do whatever. Anyway, it was like this. Remember, you guys? The keyboard slid out. It was an Envy. The keyboard slid out and you could type on it and then it slid back in. And it was like, you thought, oh, look, it changed color. You thought you had arrived. You don't have to push the same button. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But people got really, really fast at typing like that.
Hey, Arlene.
You know what I mean? Like, super fast.
Arlene was like, it's -5 in Scotland.
Oh, my gosh.
So 62 in Florida, -5 in Scotland. I would say here.
A droid slider, yeah.
It probably didn't get above 45 today. Once it stopped raining, it got cold, but still 40 degrees in Georgia. Not bad. So we'll take it.
Not bad at all. Sometimes I think I can change the color back if I do like this. It's okay though.
Oh my God,
It's okay.
Let me get out of this. My eyes are burning.
I know. You want to bleach them?
No.
Okay. There, the color went back to the thing. So,
Karen had a droid slider.
I know. Y'all tell me the first. Well, see, I can't remember. Like, what cell phone sticks out in your head that when you got it, you had like, okay, it was the latest, greatest. Like Razors, was it when you got like the Razor? Those ended up being shitty phones.
Hey, what kind of phone did I have when we met?
An iPhone 6.
iPhone 6, and this is 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Mandi was like, oh no.
I was like, what is that? Is that an iPhone? He goes, yeah. And I was like, well, I've just been informed that I need to get the fuck off my husband's cell phone plan.
So we're going to.
He's tired of seeing your number. So we went to Verizon.
We got our own, yeah.
We split my phone number off and it created an account when Sean did his. But when he was like, I don't want to see that number anymore. Can you change? Like I said, we're getting divorced. He goes, I don't want to see his number anymore. And I was like,
talking about my number?
Yeah, I was like, fair enough.
Okay, that's cool.
Fair enough.
But I'd be like, but dude, we're from a bigger family. I mean,
I didn't think that they would do it though. I didn't think you could go into Verizon and say, I want to take this phone number and split it off.
I'll tell you.
And that they would do it.
Dude, I was
It took forever.
I was a straight talk guy, right? I had to keep it real simple in my prior life because my money was going to other things, that we had to do. So I had straight talk. And straight talk does not really work in Texas.
It was the shittiest phone service.
But I'm telling you, straight talk like here,
Yes.
like inside the post office, it's kind of like this little
I remember
lair.
Jude.
It's like this little lair. And people that have really nice phones, it does not work in the post office.
In the parking lot, sometimes it'll work and sometimes
it doesn't.
It won't.
See, so when I'm working up at the front, and someone will come up and be like, "Hey, can you?" I said, "Yeah, do you have the tracking number?" They'll let me pull it up. No one's phones work in the lobby when they're trying to.
So when they're sitting there messing with it, you're like, and y'all don't
You're
have
like,
Wi-Fi.
so I'm going to take. So there'll be a whole line of people over there trying to get there, and I would literally tell them, "Go walk by the window." Because it'll probably work better then. And they think I'm being a smart ass or whatever. And they walk by the window. They walk by the window and then they come back up. But people that had straight talk, it worked like a charm. Straight talk is the way in like North Carolina and Georgia. It worked. Once I got to like the Texas border, Louisiana, it didn't work anymore. And I thought for a minute maybe they didn't have straight talk.
Yes, a pager.
But if you went into Walmart, they had straight talk cards in Texas. Anyway, so I had sworn that I would never go on a phone plan again, that they were a rip off, that you're paying way too much. And then Mandy's like, we're going to put you on a phone plan. I'm going to put you on my phone plan and get you another phone. And I was like, okay.
Yep, that's exactly what I said. So I honestly had no idea that they even still had like prepaid phones or phones.
Burner phones.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I mean, I guess I knew. I don't want to say like, oh, I didn't know they existed. I didn't know that anybody used them. I thought only drug dealers and terrorists used them.
I mean, that is why they still use the burner phones, because you load them up, you talk on them for a couple of days, you get rid of them.
Yeah.
On a burner phone. That makes
sense. Now it's way more strict about burner phones. Remember when we were trying to get it for that friend of ours? It was like it has to be registered in someone's name.
Yeah.
It has to have this. It has to have that.
It's tough to get them. I mean,
to get them started. People
had burner phones it was a way people trolled. They had burner phones. Mm-hmm. They used to use burner phones. One of my most favorite pictures of Mandy and I came out of that. Where's that one? You've got it on the little, the little thing that burns, the little TV thing that burns the little wax stuff.
You talking about
oils. That's remember when we went into the phone booth and we made the pictures?
Booth?
Yeah.
There's one on your desk clipped in there. You talking about the one where it looks like we're at a stadium?
Yeah. Where is that?
Yeah, it's in there. It's in your office on the desk.
Oh yeah, I gotta get it.
You want me to get it?
I'll get it. I'll show people.
Yeah, it was in a photo booth at the mall, and it ended up looking like we were literally at a stadium. So it kind of became his favorite picture, but I'm not sure what that has to do with burner phones because the photo booth took it.
Just the day that we got it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying our phone took the picture or something. Yes, Jude, I remember you just got a new cell phone, but before that, you're like, they wouldn't even support my flippy phone anymore. Jude finally came up to, and pagers. Yes, pagers were what it was about. Sean you were probably too old for a pager.
So
doesn't it look like we're at a stadium?
That's when we were at the mall that day, and look how beautiful she is. Look how happy she looks.
I was. It kind of almost looks like we were at a Georgia game.
Yeah, well, I got the Georgia hat
that
on.
That has been his favorite picture.
My very favorite.
The day
I've got like top 3 pictures of us, but this is. And look at me. I was still kind of like half in shock because I was still recovering from my other relationship.
He was still trying to figure out if he was still intact with all of his pieces. But I didn't see a Casio. Oh yeah, Butters love Casio. Okay. So yeah, they were talking about do you remember Blackberries? You had one when you were an officer, right?
The very first Blackberry I got. I mean, I had them issued to me, but I'm gonna tell y'all, blast from the past. The very first phone I got with her was a Blackberry.
Really?
Yep.
And what was their messaging program? BlackBerry BlackBerry
It-
messaging or something like
And
that.
I mean, you could use them, but they went out quick.
They did,
after
and
that.
they weren't very reliable.
Blackberries were good for business.
Yeah.
Like if you work, like you're right, we had them when we were on staff. Most Army staffs, we had our own little Blackberries,
And you could BBM, like,
right,
for
yeah,
like
it was really good because they had intranets. Like you have the internet, and then you have your intranet, which is like your work,
but
your
only
little
the
work thing,
officers got them.
and yeah, something
y'all were
like
only
that.
the
Well,
one that-
there was a few,
He was
like
the only
the
one that
sergeant major and stuff like that got them, but yeah.
I dropped mine in the storm drain one time when I was drunk. You know it is a storm drain, but in neighborhoods, how the cats crawl in and out of.
Yeah.
And I was
It kind of dropped and went down in there.
Yeah, it fell and it went all the way into the thing, and so I was like laying on the ground trying to like figure out how I was gonna get it out. It was me and a friend, and I remember my ex came out and he goes, "What are you doing?" I was like, "My phone's down there," and he was like, "You're not gonna be able to get it out," and I was like, "But it's my phone."
Yeah.
I'm going to lay here until it realizes that I need it to come out.
How about the feeling that you get when you can't find your phone and you realize that you probably left it at a store or something
Sean's
like that?
famous for this, and he's never actually left it anywhere. One time at your parents', but just one time. If he can't find it, because he's usually pretty good at finding his phone or my phone fairly quickly. But if he can't, then he's like, "Oh, I left it at my parents," and I'm like, "You never ever do." So and usually it's in the console.
I'm like,
It is bad when you leave it in a bathroom somewhere, though.
because we take it for granted.
Yeah.
You know, we take our phone for granted. So, and I'm the type, especially if I'm real anxious, like when was it last week when I had the flat tire in the car?
Yeah.
And it's no problem. We have a Grease Monkey place called Grease Monkey that's literally right next door. And they patch tires from the inside. So instead of the old style patches that they pull the piece through, they actually take your tire off and they patch it from the inside.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And so you really can't tell from the outside. And but what I end up doing for like the next week, and I'm still doing it, is I'll be driving along and every time I hit a bump, I look at my tire gauge. And it just, I'm freaked out. Every time I walk to my car, like in the morning, every morning I walk out and I'm like, my tire's going to be flat. And it never is. Tire's not flat. So
you're going to trust it.
Huh?
You got to trust it. They did
know.
it. It says, when I can't find mine, I run to the neighbor and have her keep calling my number. But the thing is, after a while, if you keep calling it, it'll start going straight to voicemail. And so you have to like choose a different number to call from. But that is still, mine's always on silent. So
yeah, mine is too.
It absolutely does no good. I need to program. There's certain ones that you can program, even if the phone's on silent and you're on Do Not Disturb. There's numbers that call through that no matter what time, no matter what, it'll ring and go through. Like
you need to put my number as that.
I know, and kids and parents and all kinds of stuff.
But I'm talking about like right now. You need to, like,
right this second.
No, like whenever you can't find your phone. Yeah. Mandi loses her phone about 10 times a day.
But you can also do Find My iPad. We've got the 360 app, and I've used it to find my phone even in the house. You know what else they have? I saw at PetSmart. You can get a dog or cat tag that for Android or iPhone that is literally like Find My Phone, and you can find your pet.
Really?
The problem is, which is great, but the problem is Sawyer would, if we put a collar on him, he would look us up and down and then be like, have you lost your mind?
Lost your mind.
You're not going to tag me. And if we put him in a harness and a leash, he'll look at us like, you're not tethering me to anything.
I mean,
he'll sit there and go, yeah, he's a pretty spoiled.
I do get a little bit worried about
the locate button, yes, on your watch.
Sawyer Brown just doesn't have any fear, so he runs over and starts playing with the pit bull across the street. And the pit bull's a nice dog.
He's a nice dog.
But still, Sawyer doesn't need to be acting that way.
He'll run up and start barking and showing whatever, and the pit bull gets scared, turns around and runs back to the house, and I'm like, that these dogs are like, this little shit right here. You're lucky I'm in a good mood.
Yeah.
He's like, or because sometimes the pit bulls will be like, hold my beer. Come on. Right?
Yes.
But you can get tags to locate them, and I would assume sooner or later the microchips will be able to do that, right? And the days of losing your animal are gone.
Yep.
Once you track it down, it could be in someone's house and it tracks you down all the way to their house.
Yep.
That's a serious thing.
I mean,
someone stole my hairdresser's English bulldog one time. Oh no, her friend, but she was telling me the story. My hairdresser told me. And he was pretty sure it was someone on the street, and he walked up and down and called the dog until he could call the dog. He could hear the dog whining in the person's house.
And he went and he kicked the door in, right?
He kicked the door in, and he got his dog back.
And I bet you nobody
they weren't there.
I bet you even if they were there,
he knew it was them whining. I think he came back and was like, "Got my dog."
And they were like,
yeah, like she said he kicked it straight in and went and got his dog. I would do that if I could hear my dog. You know what I mean? And I would too. Or you look in the window and you know it's your dog or whatever, and you're like, nobody's home. I guess the right thing to do is call the police and say,
yeah,
but
when you're talking about getting your dog,
right? I think your adrenaline at that point is like, no, it's time. We're gonna get the dog right now, right?
Yes.
I found out. So Trash Panda. Has the same kind of dog that DC and Negs want to get.
What kind of dog is that?
It's like carousel. Someone tell me what it is.
Those big dogs? Those are pretty big dogs.
They're big, yeah. Yeah, they're pretty dogs. They look kind of like, I would say a little bit like a black Akita. But I didn't know I didn't know that the dog that she wanted was the one that Panda had. Oh, there it is. Cane Corso.
Oh, I saw something on Twitter that someone posted about that.
I showed you the picture in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
It's a pretty dog.
They're big, though. They're pretty big, aren't they?
Yeah, I think that they're pretty big. Pandas is a spoiled rotten.
I bet.
Yeah. Which is good. But she's talked about it a few times in here that the dog pretty much runs the house. If I found an abandoned cat, first thing I would do is just find a vet to see if it's chipped. Just saying. Yeah. There's so much that didn't make sense with that whole scenario.
Tiberius weighs 200 pounds. Yeah.
Oh, his name is Tiberius. I love that. I forgot I didn't know that was his name, Tiberius. That is pretty cool. Get a big dog and name it like one of the emperors or whatever. I like that.
Well,
what
is the next dog we're gonna
you
get?
Guys know, like, I have had cats, dogs, whatever, forever. I've always been the one that takes it in, even like during the military days or whatever. And
there's
sometimes
always
it was
room for one more.
Most of the time it was to if it was a found thing, to rehome, and I would keep him until I found someone who could take him. And usually it was pretty easy. But he's wearing his cardigan, she says today. I have never, ever, ever, ever given a cat a bath.
No.
Ever.
I just don't think you can.
Well, I take that back. I think one time there was a cat that was covered in fleas, and I did use the Dawn dish soap and wash it to whatever. That I did. Beyond that,
you don't have to wash.
You don't wash
them,
a
man.
cat, and it's not good for their skin. Or
it's
their
not,
fur.
and they keep themselves clean. They're not like dogs. I mean, dogs, you have to wash a dog here and there.
And if you do it naked, you're opening yourself up to some pretty gnarly scratches. I don't know how someone ends up naked bathing a cat. That I don't know. But
you've been hanging out in the drama community.
I mean,
there's a couple people that might happen to.
I don't know that I would have gotten naked before I did it.
No.
Because it'll scratch you all up. That's like frying bacon naked.
Yeah. There's a good
right?
analogy. Yeah,
that's what someone said. He has t-shirts and sweaters and winter jackets and pajamas. How cute is that? You have to send me some pictures. But anyway, yeah. So it's been a few days. Just when you think you've seen it all, people are bathing cats with the boobs out.
All to get at somebody that I think hurt their feelings or something like that. That's what it looks like.
Sean's like, it's unfortunate that you have to go.
It's odd because when it comes to drama community stuff, what I've learned is, unless they're your friends, don't watch it. It's So even with like that one, I don't watch it. But what I do is I do get on Twitter. So I just see what goes on Twitter without watching YouTube. Trust me, it's good for your mental health if you go through what's trying to happen to us is just don't watch YouTube. So I hear about like the cat washing. I don't watch someone washing a cat, but I hear about it and it's like, why would somebody do that? I'll go to Twitter and see if there's any pictures.
I don't, it's a very, very strange thing. I don't really understand it. But then everything has a purpose of a cash grab. That's the bottom line. It's a cash grab.
Yeah.
So anyway, I guess that's kind of just another day in the neighborhood or whatever. Hey, Khaki. Oh, the cat, I guess, has a home. Found a home first thing this morning.
Oh, so
seems kind of strange, but whatever.
Is that why there was heartbreak? Was there heartbreak after one day?
Oh, there's always freaking tears, and it reminds me of my childhood and my little Kokono kitten and my favorite little, whatever kitten, and it just brings stuff up, and then the boo hoo.
It's supply.
And then she goes stuff up, and then the boo hoo.
It's supply.
And then she goes, thank you for the PayPal. Oh my God, look. Thank you for the PayPal. Oh my God, look, we got PayPal.
Yeah, see, I don't have any interest in that.
That's just what I'm saying.
I would have to go to my therapist. Stitching. They're like, oh, they say, sorry, we were roasting the beast.
Yeah.
I knew there was a reason why that we were, but it's okay. You got to do what you got to do. Hey, Mama
Thank
Ricky.
You. It's made by Too Faced. It's the I think the color's called Slay, and it's like the plumping kind.
Slay like SLAY or
yeah.
Slay
I just happen to remember I got into, and it's not everybody doesn't, obviously doesn't like it, but I like to do, if you do like the blue eyeshadow and then do like this color lipstick, I think that it looks good together. Do you know where I saw that?
Where did you see it?
We watched that movie together in the apartment, and it was a good actress, but she's a little bit older now. I don't remember. And that's how she wore makeup. I want to say Final Blood or whatever.
You noticed that? Okay.
I know.
All right, I'm just going to say it.
Was it? I didn't catch it. Was it good?
We were playing your interview with Marla.
Okay.
If I was wondering,
did I make digs at him or no?
Stitching comes in is like, hey guys, we're here, like bust through the door. We're here. we were off doing something else, but I'm here with my 30 friends. And
that's what it was though, right? Was I nice? Did I mention Sean at all? I don't think I did. I would think that was cool though if I did get a couple of digs in. Was it good?
Like it was good. Here's the thing, guys. When I first heard, but I know by now, it's like when we first got together, people were looking for whatever. So when
they thought it was you and Marla for a while, right?
Who is they though?
When people knew it was somebody in the community, but they didn't know who.
Really? I never thought
did.
That. Oh, why? Because
I know you didn't think that because you were with it.
But I mean, like, why? Because she's in North Carolina.
Because that was the person that the Beast had zeroed in on that you were interested in. And the whole, if I was with you, I'd give you a blowjay or whatever.
Oh yeah, she was the first.
She was the original one that said, "Let me square you away," and I said, "Hold my beer. Give me a few more years."
I thought the avenue of approach was that I was with Jessica. I thought that was
some did.
Yeah, some did, but I mean that's who I thought she was perpetrating.
I don't know because we weren't really watching during that time.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
You know what I mean?
I'll have to go back. But anyway, so that video that Mandi and Savage popped in there too, right? Mm-hmm. Savage popped onto that panel for a second. What'd you say? Yeah.
Ricky says you're definitely knee pad worthy.
Thank you. if you go to Miss Fairy Garden, that's the channel, right? That I don't know what Marla's up to these days, but if you go to that channel and you go down, and it would be 5 years ago, I guess, when Mandi was on there. She's on the thumbnail. If you go up about 6 videos, Marla does a vlog. I don't think it was a live stream. I think it was a vlog.
Thank you.
And I'm in the title, and she talks about me. So it's kind of neat, I guess, that if you go 5 years back, which is 2 years before we were together, and you look at a channel, there's right there in the same span of time, within like a month of each other, there's a video with Miss ATX and a video with Tomahawk Sean in it.
Did I? And I don't know if I went on a panel in that one or not. I didn't really have a lot to say about him, except that he needed to get wise and get her in check. Let me.
Ricky says Sean is definitely knee pad worthy, and then Khaki goes, "Oh, that made my heart happy. Thank you."
Is that who she was talking to?
Yeah.
I'm going to, since we were taking rotations, now you have to carry it while I use the restroom.
Graceland says, Sean, can you affirm or disaffirm that Marla ever DM'd you? I don't remember. It wasn't. I don't know. I know that she would leave comments, and I don't have any problem with Marla. That's the thing. So I don't think it was ever like a direct DM, but there was like communication. What she was really good at, and what people got good at, is just leaving comments on my vlogs or leaving comments wherever that were directed to me, so that she would see them. And that's what Marla was good at. She was good at doing that. So anyway, did that answer the question? But anyway, I think if you go back and look at that video, when it first came out, when Mandi was like, and I guess Paula was showing it today, but Mandi had known about it about 2 weeks ago. She remembered it and was watching it, and she sent it to me, and I was watching part of it, and she was like, I don't think I said anything about you, and she didn't. So it was really much ado about nothing. But anyway, let's see. I have to refresh this. Hold on. What are we saying? Yeah, you know what though? Hey, Mayor's daughter, how you doing, sis? Good to see you. Howdy, just dropping by for who knows why. It's cool that you did. Appreciate that. Mayor's daughter.
Oh, well, that's so cool.
Ricky says, I remember you got continuous messages. Well, I mean, Tracy, Tracy's still around. Tracy still talks to us,
This is my scout.
So, yes,
This is my
when Mama Ricky
scout.
said you got continuous messages from Tracy and Jeremy, remember those? Tracy is friendly with us, and we talk to her quite often, or Mandi does, as a matter of fact. But yeah, I do remember that. I do remember that.
Sorry, Scout.
Way back in the day, she was leaving and this was before I was really doing anything on YouTube. I really wasn't part of it. And I got like 12 voicemails from somebody who they thought was her. And it was me. And I'm reading these voicemails, and they're like, not real friendly. That was funny.
We have a voicemail from Trisha's mom. I'm not going to play it, but
Yeah.
it's way back, and it keeps transferring with the iPhone. Anyway,
You guys know when you like change phones and you delete pictures and messages and stuff like that, and when you get a new phone and then you update your phone and it starts drawing stuff from cloud, it puts all the old shit back on there again. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. So the thing with, so the way that I'm going to tell you how I remember it coming out. Shar is still around. She's not interactive, but she is still around. I've been told she watches, and she thinks that it's cool that Sean and I are together. When the whole thing came out, and everybody thought it was a message, and it may have been a message, I don't know, when the Beast was freaking out saying, well, if you were my husband, I would, what did she say? I would take care of you like that.
Something like that.
And I wish I could run on the beach and this and that. Let me tell you something. She wasn't saying nothing that every other female wasn't like, dude.
Yeah.
You don't need to be with someone who doesn't do that.
I mean, but she made one comment that was a little bit more graphic, and but she did it specifically. I'm over here.
She was
my
trolling.
dumb ass was just over here like, what, But anyway.
But when we finally crossed over on May the 9th, within you can rest assured that I said I'm gonna square that away too. You just wait.
Hey Kay Barnett's here. Meow meow. Mayor's daughter. So me and Mayor's daughter are friends.
She's a nice,
on
she's
Facebook.
a good person. Yeah.
So, and I think that's where. And she did lose a pet. And
Yeah.
so yeah, we're
Sorry
hoping
about
that
that.
you're starting to feel a little better, because that sucks.
Doesn't get easier. It stings less, but it doesn't ever get easier. Sting and I just showed Scout. Okay, that's my Scout. I got him as a little tiny kitten from a box of kittens. He's my little rescue.
He's the luckiest
And
cat in Lumpkin
but
County.
you guys know I'm an empath. I'm an empath. So I feel energy. And I'm an empath. I want to let you guys know you guys know I'm an empath. Who calls themselves an empath? I tell you who, a covert narcissist, that's who. Okay, we'll let that go. But anyway, I thought that was funny because this is my thing. Most of the time when someone's an empath, it's not something they've labeled themselves. It's something that other people see in them.
Every once in a while.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, every once in a while, somebody will label me, like, I'm not talking, literally, people are like, and it's always surprising because I don't think that I am. I think I'm a kind of a sensitive person, but
He'll explode the light bulbs.
But a lot of people say, I've had people say, well, the reason why you were able to stay in that type of abusive, toxic relationship is because you're empathic, and
I saw an article about that.
yeah, and that's why people stay in those awful freaking relationships for so long.
There was an entire article that talked about, I'll have to look on the phone. This is the phone, but I'll see it. I'll have to wait till we get off unless you send it to like Sean's DM. I can't see it while it's on here, but I'll look at it and let you know. I'm sure it's adorable. Yeah, the stories that you've told and told all the way back from the apartment, like things that you saw in the service, things that you saw, whatever. There's been several people who have said that you're empathic or whatever. So I read an article that said a lot of times covert or malignant narcissists and empaths explode.
Yeah,
but they
collide
but they try.
Right. In a narcissist, how do you say? They try to mirror what their source is.
Mm-hmm.
They try to, so for instance, you'll get studied for a while and then they'll figure out that, you like the Falcons or you like whatever. And all of a sudden they like football and then they like that team. Oh my God, we have so much in common. When the reality of it is they've been studying that. Now, somebody that's an empath, that's empathic, they feel all kinds of energy from the room. And so when they find somebody that's they think is in tune with them, it's very kind of a very special thing for an empathic person. And it's easy for a narcissist to get in there that way.
This is Trash Panda's doggy.
Oh.
I thought for some reason it's not the same type that DC Media is getting or is it just a different color? Like, educate me on this. First of all, he is adorable.
Yes, he is.
But I'd love to know, like, if it's the same one or how that works or whatever. But I'm an empath. I'm an empath, and Sean still has a job. Sean,
oh my God! Yep.
Say it.
People are going to come after you.
Yeah,
because
people don't want him to say that.
They say that I say that I still have a job because I'm worried that I'm not going to have a job. I'm going to say it every night. Mm-hmm. And the reason that I'm going to say it as often as I do is at some point You know, I'm over there.
That
People are saying I'm going to get arrested. I'm going to lose my job and this and that. At some point, when are people going to realize that it was all crap, that it was not true? That's why I keep saying it, because at some point, and people will bring it. He keeps saying that every time, every night, over and over. Yeah, it's like, when is somebody gonna call that out and say that it was not true? That's why.
Yeah, they won't though, because they
won't.
They don't.
They scared.
No, it's not that. It's just that they probably know it's not true, but they like to do the rally.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then when it's not, and there's some silly excuse given why it doesn't happen, then they just move on to somebody else. Whoever's getting.
I mean, there's people that are quick to.
Fine course. Okay.
They're quick to watch what people say and call them out on what they call lies. But then there's other content creators over there that make up big grandiose stories and make accusations to people that are also lies. Well, I mean, and lies is even, it's just, they're not true. They're stories.
So cute.
They're stories that they're making up to, and they want people to be scared, and other people want them to be true, but they're not true.
And everybody's
and
like,
at some
y'all
point,
just
it's
wait.
like, this is what you said was going to happen to me. But it's not. And so how long is it going to take before someone else says, yeah, that was never going to happen?
But you know what's interesting? Because the one that has a problem with it is Al. She number one, depending on the season, she likes us or doesn't like us, and that's fine. I'm not worried about that. But she put a clip up to prove her point about whatever. And I was like,
about what? About me?
About you being nervous about it or some, whatever it was. It's talking over you or whatever. I'm pretty sure the crowd that you run with, Al, is going to believe you.
Right.
If you don't need to do a clip.
But at what point, Al, are you going to say, hey, Sam, nothing that you said has happened. You'll do that with other people, but for some reason, you won't do it in this case. And I will say, she's pretty objective across all kind of, like, she'll call anybody out, but not that one. At what point are you going to go, hey, Sam, you said this dude was going to lose his job. You said that they were going to be in handcuffs.
Because they don't want her to
right. They don't want that wrath. They don't want her to say, hey, shut the hell up there. But it was told on God that we were going to be in handcuffs and that we were going to have mug shots and that this and that. And then there's other people that have said that about people and it ended up not being true, and you hold them accountable for that. At what point are you going to go, hey, Telfer, they're not arrested. They're not going to have mug shots. I mean, you said all this was going to happen.
She said, and she said that because of that dog situation that she ended up flying to California. She said that because Asher was worth over $1,000, that Pirate was going to be charged with grand larceny and was going to go to jail. That never happened. The only thing that happened in a courtroom was that Pirate took your ass in a few times with an attorney.
At the end of the day, now that we're on this, that summer, a bunch of stuff happened. Arabia came on the scene, and Sam had to lie and say that she was in a sexual relationship with Arabia to get her in any kind of trouble. That was the same summer that, Pirate rescued Sam's dog from her and gave it back. And then Sam ended up dragging Sam into court. That was the summer that the rest of the drama community realized that Sam is just like everybody else. And that's why at the end of the day, nobody messes with her from the DC. She is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, that's true.
She is a pain in the ass when she jumps on you. We will admit that. Rogue mod and all. She is a pain in the ass. But beyond that, that's all she is. She is a pain in the ass. But that's all she is.
Yeah.
And at some point, someone just needs to, I'll do it. I'm thinking about bringing back my other channel and just doing a vlog about it with some member berries. Just saying that's all she is a pain in the ass.
Bye, Panda.
It's a drama community, and that's...
Me too.
That's it. So anyway, that's it.
I think it's... I do as well agree that it's good that Wendy got the dog, because she loves it.
But after all of that, so the dog gets taken. It was huge drama. It was great drama in the community. She beseeches Pirate to get her dog back to her. Pirate relinquishes the dog, and then Sam turns around and sticks it on a plane to California. Which actually,
It turned out to be a good thing.
It ended up being a good thing. Anything but being in her possession. But anyway, those are just some member berries for you. Yes, I will keep mentioning from time to time, at least every other night, that I have a job.
Let's bump it up to every night.
Yeah, you want to do it every night?
Yeah, let's do it every
Until
night.
I change my job by my own accord, which may be coming soon. You know, it might be coming soon.
Yeah, Kay, all she does is scream.
Yeah,
She
it's-
screams over. Like, if I were to do a panel with her tomorrow, it would be trying to have a conversation and
Right.
her screaming over me. And if I started talking about something she didn't want to talk about, she would scream over me. That's
One
what
of the
she would
things
do.
that has come of all of this, another example for everybody that's watching silently because you don't want to get in the middle of it, is that when a bigger creator comes after a smaller creator for whatever reason, that smaller channel grows. You know, we were like 2.6K followers. We're now 2.8. If you just keep your cool and don't let it get into your headspace, you'll grow. Your channel will grow. And you find out that bigger channel, the people that don't like them are paying attention, and some of them have got with us and going, we really don't know this girl world community. We really don't know
We
who
don't know
you
anything
are,
about them.
but whatever, when they'll say, we don't know you two, but whatever, you've got this one spun up. Good job. You know, it's kind of like, good job. And that's really the end state for the smaller channel, is to just keep doing what you're doing. Don't get in a tit for tat. Don't prove them right. And I'll say this, and we're going to thank everybody for it. We probably had the best AdSense month this month than we've had probably this whole year
Yeah.
in 2022. And it's because of the attention that they gave us.
Yeah.
If you understand that in real life, if nothing's going to happen in your real life, if you understand that, you're going to be fine. You're going to be okay.
Yeah.
You know,
Sean loves numbers.
I do love numbers.
He
I'm
loves
the numbers
to watch
guy.
him grow. So
And I
if
was
you-
like, Mandy, you know,
and he
this
loves
is,
to be relevant.
this
And
will
y'all
be-
keep him relevant.
yes, this might be a slight pain in our ass.
Yeah.
A slight pain in the ass, but there's going to be more people that watch. YouTube's done a very good job of taking away the negative stuff that people can inflict upon your channel. Like, there's no more thumbs down.
You got good videos, Mayor's Daughter. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, you do, sis. If somebody, I thought that Mandy and I were going to get swarmed with trolls. Didn't happen. People weren't willing to go out of their way to inundate our stream. But like comments at the end of our videos, now if somebody leaves you a comment, you can go and you can click on that profile and see when they created that, that account and this and that. Remember, you used to not be able to do that. So I'd say about a half a dozen times in the last 10 days or so, there's been a comment. I go over, I click on the channel you click on the channel was created 19 minutes ago or whatever, just to leave us a comment. And it's easy just to look at that, keep it in perspective and go, okay, they created a channel to come leave a snarky comment.
And unless it's a good comment, I don't even know that it exists. Sean, Let It Go, Karen, they all look at the comments, and if it's something really disgusting, and I'm not saying just bad comments like this or that, but if it's something really, really gross,
right.
they take care of it, and I don't ever see it.
Yeah.
Especially, so I don't know, why would I read something that doesn't make you feel good? You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
Sean, there is no nasty comment he hasn't seen. He's been around since
There's
2017,
been people
2016.
that have over the last
You've
few
seen it
days or
all.
so, the last week and a half, going, are you guys okay? And I'm like, yeah, why? Well, some of the stuff that's being said over there, and I'm like, well, I don't watch what's being said, but I get the comments when people intentionally come into, because I don't really block anybody on Twitter. They'll come and they'll leave DMs and stuff like that, or they'll leave comments. But I'll tell you honestly, I mean, if I'm lying, I'm crying. Honestly, where I came from and how things used to be, this little thing hasn't, maybe 10 or 15% of what I used to get. And as long as this one stays centered, and she has, then that's it. And that's just advice to smaller channels when you find yourself getting into conflict with these bigger channels that have bigger echo chambers and stuff. They'll send a few people over, but really outside of their little arena, people A, don't know who we are, and B, don't care.
Yeah, a lot of people don't give a
They
shit.
don't even give a crap.
They'll come look at us because someone's talking about me being with my cousin and Sean this and whatever, and they come and watch us and they're like, okay, well, they're boring as fuck. And
they're really boring. They've got their people, but what is it?
There's nothing interesting about what they're doing.
Right.
And then they want to know why the other people are like, why do they go for them when they just are boring?
And they're not even really reacting to it. This is our reaction to it. I was thinking about a couple of times on my channel, because y'all watch my channel, when I had it, just doing a whole recap of what it's been like, just so people can know. But I think you guys are seeing what it's like. If you go over to where they are, into that area, or the people that follow that, you'll see it. But once you venture outside of it, you don't see it. What you got is some bigger channels that are looking, and a couple that have checked in and saying, I don't know, whoever you are and whatever it is, what is it that you did? And it's like, well, here's this little comment that Mandi left in DC Media's, like in the comment section, or was it in the blog?
I'll get the goods to you. That's what I said.
And that's why. And it's like, no, it's not. People are like, but really why? But really why? They can use that, and she can rally her few people with that. But why really? That's what people want to know. And it's like, well, I mean, I could tell the history. I mean, she and I were both friends with her. It went south when we got together. It begins there. But there's something about Mandi that throws her way off center, and people see it. They know it. Whatever happens going forward from tonight, it's done. I mean, people are like, damn, she got her spun up bad. And nothing's going to happen to us for that. Just remember that, y'all. Nothing will happen to you. She'll get mad. She'll spend all kinds of time thinking up stuff to say to us instead of being in her supposedly happy relationship. There's that,
or call and email your entire family. Yep. She does shit like that.
Yeah.
You don't think our family isn't prepared for it?
I mean, she left a tweet a couple weeks ago that was noticed where she said it's good. It's like, it's gangster. What's gangster about? What's gangster about?
YouTube.
YouTube. What's gangster about it? I mean, you guys have earned us subs. You've earned us more AdSense. You've kept us relevant. And
most of us are in our 40s in this community.
Yeah, that's right. If you take the drama, if you take what's going on over there, and you just, someone that's not used to this or would look at that and look at the comments that are being said and about 5 other people that created their Twitter handles 2 months ago, just specifically to drag us, they would think that it was a bunch of 8th graders. They would. We know different, but to the 99.9% of the world that look at that, it's like,
well, but okay.
It's what little kids do.
Most of us are like between 35 and 50, 55. You know, I'm saying a mild range. Everybody's trying to act like they're so tough that they can beat anybody up. They can take people to court. They can do whatever. The reality is, most of us are in bed by 10. Some people do the night shift and stay up late. But none of us are in the age range where we're allowed to just pop off. Like, you pop off on here or whatever. But we've grown beyond bucking up on each other.
Right. And when it goes on and on, day after day after day, it gets noticed. People are like, what is this?
No, you wouldn't act like it at the grocery store.
No.
You wouldn't.
You wouldn't walk through that door and act like it. That's true. Right. Matter of fact, truth be told, y'all don't even cam up. And y'all don't even do the dragging on camera. You guys do it supposedly behind an avatar. And you don't get out much. And you would realize if you got out much and went into Walmart and talked like that or acted that way, people wouldn't even get mad at you. They would just go, oh my God, is she challenged? I mean, she's talking like a 7th grader. But if you did actually You wouldn't. You just wouldn't. You wouldn't have the nerve to do it. So there's that. There's a big big lesson. I mean, it's we still here. We gonna be here.
We're not going anywhere.
Yeah, we're not gonna go anywhere.
I used to get riled up by Sam a little bit, get a little bit some kind of way until she was exposed as being about nothing.
Yep.
And then I don't get riled up by her anymore.
Yeah.
This
She
right
doesn't
here
ha-
is her. This is her domain.
Right. Yeah. Right here. It's right in here. She'll get a bunch of people, and I got it. She's a good storyteller, but the people that have been here know what the truth is. If I watch her drag somebody else or whatever, I'd watch it and go, yeah, wow, that's a pretty good story. It's pretty convincing. Not true because I saw but yeah, it's a good storyteller.
Yeah.
She is. Other than that, okay, so you tell a good story, you get a bunch of people to believe you. Okay, so I don't know any of these people. I don't know a single one of these people.
We don't.
Yeah.
For as big as there has been the biggest blow ups in the world with me and her and our history together, that is about 5 years of being friends, not friends, being friends. Not one damn person in my real life has any idea who she is. You know what I mean? Like
They
none.
don't. Nobody
None.
does.
Well, my daughter, because she emailed her.
Right.
But beyond that, nobody in my real life knows who it is.
One thing that I think gets another message is that these creators that spend this time here, this right here is their moneymaker. It's their bread and butter, their AdSense. They have to figure out.
They don't have the luxury to not do it.
Yeah, they can't just decide to take a break for a week because they'll be off their game and they won't be on pace.
And when you base it on drama,
Right. They got to create a lot of drama. They got to make something up. They got to take 5 words that somebody said in someone's chat and, spend hours on it. And that's okay. You can do it. Mandi, I mean, I can take a look on Twitter and go, yeah, I mean, we're the topic today. Let's go to Walmart and hang out. Whoop, look, they're talking about you. Let's go hang out with family.
yeah.
I got to put in 55 hours of work this week, maybe. And because at the end of the day, if something was to happen in the universe and they said there is no YouTube for a week or there's no social media for a week, it doesn't affect our bottom line. It doesn't take food out of our mouth. It doesn't.
And some of you it does. I get that.
And there's some people that if YouTube went away, and I'm talking about the content creators that I know and like that have really good channels and they make ads, they make good AdSense. It's a scary thought to think, in Sam's case, if you took this away from her, if you said, all right, there's no YouTube, there's no social media for a week, she would have no communication. She'd have no connection with anything except for maybe Yava. But it's looking like their connection isn't very strong. And so, yeah, that's it.
That's how that goes.
That's
No,
it.
it's cool. That's kind of where we stand on it when we have a conversation. But
Kaki's like, that's
We're
my
not going
face. We'd
anywhere.
love to have a talk smackdown.
we're not
Yeah.
going anywhere, and that's why we titled it "Everyone Loves ATX and Tomahawk." Because
Did you title that? Is that
Yeah,
what
I
you
know there's a
titled
whole lot of people who don't like us or whatever, and that title wasn't meant to be pretentious, like, oh, everybody loves us. It was meant to be kind of a funny haha. Yeah, I know, Karen, but but it is what it is, and we're not going anywhere. Those who want to watch us will. Those who get grossed out by us will. Those who hate us won't.
Right.
Or they will.
And we're gonna keep giving them screenshots and comments so that they can, get their little, because we have our fuckery apps too. They get their little apps and do whatever. And then some of y'all will find it and tell us about it. But dimes to donuts, man. It's not. I mean, our AdSense month this month, we're grateful for it. It's nice. That it's nice to have a month like that. But it's not going to turn our power off. It's not going to turn our power or our water or our rent off if we're not here.
Because you have a job.
Right, because I have a job.
'Cause he has a job.
I have a job. I have more than one or two sources of that. So if it's like, if we lean in and go and see it and go, woof, yeah, it's a little hot right now. We just back out of it and,
Or not.
But when I say back out of it, it's just like, go to a different app, watch the game, go to work, go to the store, and then we come back later.
Yeah, we might go on Face Dance, because I like Face Dance app.
You like that
That's
one?
the one that people use to change, like you can put a picture and then it's got a face dance and it makes it look like.
I think there's a couple of us out there like that.
There's a couple, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Well, thank you guys.
We appreciate y'all.
We got a message out without being like ridiculous, but then we also had some fun. And Scout's knocking stuff over. We will be back tomorrow.
Yes, we will. Thanks, guys.
Thank you,
Appreciate
guys.
you guys. Good night.
Bye.